Team Krrish 3 is all set to don their capes and fly high towards the box office. Guys, 1 week left, butterflies in the stomach. What's the feeling like?
Butterflies in the stomach?
These are all superheroes sitting there. I don't know if you all have...
I'm human. I have big butterflies in my stomach. No, I have eagles in my stomach. But it's more out of excitement than nervousness for me. But I'm sure everybody else is also super confident about the movie.
What about you, Hrithik?
Well, I'm okay. I'm waiting to see what the rewards would be for the kind of work that we have done. It's been a very long journey.
No, I think they should watch the whole film because the whole film is it's like a poetry. It's absolutely new. It's a new dimensional film, which no Bollywood film has made up till now.
I also think it's pioneering in a way. As a genre, sci-fi is not really that big, and Rakesh sir himself has been the pioneer of sci-fi on such a large scale in Indian cinema. Nobody attempts it because they don't know how to do it. And I think the USP on this film is that it's taken sci-fi to a global level where, you know, you can turn around and say, wow, you know, we have a superhero that protects India too. Otherwise, everybody's only protecting America. You know, what's up with that?
Now, talking about the costume of the film, you know, when you have a superhero film, you know, the costume becomes very important. Be it the Iron Man's mask or be it the Catwoman's headgear, you know. So how excited were you all when it came to the costume selection? I'm sure you all must have incorporated your own style and your own inputs.
See, I was very excited, and
we saw your look in the song, which was great, the behind the scenes.
Yeah, I was too excited. In fact, first time when I got a few references, I went with blue hair and spikes and all of that. But Mr. Roshan said that I don't want her to look like a guy, you know, I want her to look very feminine and very desirable at the same time. So people who see it in single screen or in multiplex, I have to relate with the girl. So I think that time I wanted to do a lot more, but now I think that was a very wise decision, and I'm glad that we followed everything that he said.
Right, Vivek, what about you? You play like a baddie, you know, in a superhero film, and baddies are as popular as superheroes. So tell us.
Daddy of all baddies.
Yes, daddy of all baddies. That's a good one.
In this film, quite literally, because all the mutants are my creations. So I'm the daddy of all baddies. Yeah, I loved it. The trip was incredible. And talking about costumes, my costume was a work of art in itself, yeah. And we had a whole army of mutant-like ADs, and I call them mutants because they had energy that was incredible. They would dress me up with all those moving parts, you know, in this Tin Man costume, this whole metal block that I was wearing.
How much it weighed?
28 kilos.
Wow, that's it? Oh, okay.
With so many parts. And
I some 300 parts which had to be attached, which took like 8 hours.
How did you walk?
No,
I want to know
I'll tell you, truly, I wouldn't have been able to do it without that team on set that faithfully, like every single time that Sir asked me to be ready, they'd just start putting it all together. And he's such sharp eyes. There's 400 things happening on set. And he'd look at me and one look and he said, the part on the elbow is missing, on the left elbow. And be like, oh my God, how does he do that? You know, his attention to detail is incredible.
Right. And Priyanka, do you play like a damsel in distress? Like, which girl wouldn't want to be rescued by a superhero? That's the dream.
She looks like a damsel in distress from any angle?
No, she doesn't. She doesn't.
I am.
She can be a distressful damsel.
But I am.
So, can we see you throwing some punches also?
Oh no, actually, you know,
Tell us about that, actually.
No, you don't want to know about that.
No, I want to know. What about it? Throwing punches off set, elaborate with it.
The fact that she's been chosen to play Mary Kom
I was practicing on him.
from evidence. It comes from a lot of people have seen the way she is off set. They have, the word has spread. Right. You know, the power of her punches. I mean, the only person I think who's not experienced that punch is, I think, my dad.
Oh.
Because there's there's another power there in his eyes which control her.
Right.
Yeah, I get like all
Yeah, she's quite strong, you see.
Right, Priyanka, you agree with that?
Listen, yes. Hrithik and me have a relationship where we punch each other a lot.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm the only one with no superpowers in the film. I'm human, which is my superpower.
Which was very hard for her to play. It was a very challenging role.
You're According to him, I'm not human. Right.
But she managed well.
I've tried to be very human, bring, like as much humanity as I could into this character. Because all these super dupers were flying up in the sky and doing their thing. Well, I would sit in my AC tent and be like, let them just finish doing. Boys, stop fighting over me. Because these two are only fighting over me.
Right.
And I was like, stop. What's going
There are
on?
humans in this film who are playing mutants, and there is one mutant who's playing.
I would like to say there's one superhero who was the inspiration for these superheroes. Because, there's so much that
Priyanka, I'm going to be on your side. You play a reporter. Come on. We have our own power. We don't need a superhero power.
I remember being in the suit of Krrish and Carl with his 2,000 pieces. My God, I really respect, dude. Respect for the kind of ordeal that he had to go through to wear all that. और उसके बाद you asked him how he walked. In fact, we had to like do a 5-minute practice to get the walk right. Because if I can,
Sure. This is very funny. It's very funny.
there were so many pieces on him. I don't know if the camera's catching me right now. Here like this.
Wait.
But the walk started to become like this.
You're wired.
So because there was just too many pieces. So we had to remove some pieces.
It was
we
so
had to
tough,
adjust,
man.
In some
so that
places.
there's enough space for the thigh to move in a straight direction. But
I cannot tell you how difficult it was.
Kaal ki kainat mein, and talking like this. But the best part was the camaraderie that we shared. I think is one of the best that I've shared with
Dog
any
fights.
any actor so far in my life. Because it's very it's heartwarming really to work with someone who is an honest actor, who is a hero but is playing a villain and playing it with such integrity. And
conviction.
and conviction. That is the mark of a true actor. Because as actors we are adventurers, we are explorers. We want to like really get into the skin of the character and see what we can make of that.
And what skin? 28 kilos of skin.
And
You have no idea.
I remember after we were punching each other and all that, and we were really precariously hurtful in places you don't want to ask. So we are strapped up together. And right after we've like punched each other, I've given him 10, he's given me 20, and after dad has said cut, we're like holding each other.
Somebody help us, Dad.
कुछ काम हो रहा है भाई भाई हो रहा है मुझे भी बहुत दर्द हो रहा है यार.
The thing is, now I was witness to all this, alright? Because I was sitting down there while they're doing their thing. But they were hanging up there.
And to reduce the pressure, we have held each other so tight so we lift each other up a little bit. So
Okay, stop describing. But they were hanging up there.
so we have a lot of behind the scenes affection.
Bonding.
Carl and Krrish.